you're showing off.
Maybe a little.
All right, let's take a leap of faith into the chaotic abyss that is the Madam Web movie. Madam Web isn't as bad as everyone says it is, because it's actually worse. I've sat through a lot in my time, but this is like hoping for a Michelin-starred feast and instead getting served a bowl of lukewarm cereal, and it's as jarring as walking into a prestigious art exhibition expecting to see a Van Gogh painting, but instead finding a wall plastered with internet memes. Let's talk about the plot. It's as mixed up as a Rubik's Cube in the hands of a toddler, and I'm pretty sure the script was written by a room full of monkeys with typewriters, each one throwing in their own twist and turn until the storyline is a tangled mess of wired headphones. So we have Dakota Johnson, who plays this New York paramedic called Cassandra Webb. If you don't know who Dakota Johnson is, she was the one getting her coochie whapped in 50 Shades of Grey. You should check the movie out if you haven't seen it. Perfect movie for freaks. One day, she starts seeing the future, and if that was me, I'd be off to the races faster than a Wall Street broker after hearing about a new cryptocurrency. But not our Cassandra, because she decides to use her powers to play guardian angel to 3 young women. Let's pour one out for the audience reactions to Madam Web. The film's debut was about as smooth as a whiskey on the rocks. That is if the rocks were actually just more whiskey, because critics and audiences alike have been tossing their 2 cents into the fountain of feedback, and let's just say they're not making many wishes for a sequel. The first reactions are in, and they're calling it an embarrassing mess, with some saying it makes Morbius look like the Dark Knight. That's like saying your homebrewed beer tastes like it was crafted by Belgian monks when it really resembles dishwater. The box office numbers were not any good either, because it's been left in the webs of second place, trailing behind a Bob Marley biopic. Critics have torched it, saying it's as dumb and schlocky as the worst of the genre. That's the kind of burn that requires a cold compress and a stiff drink. Meanwhile, the fans, bless their hearts, are a bit kinder, giving it a score that's not quite in the gutter, but let's just say it's not hitting any strikes either. This movie was directed by S.J. Clarkson, and this is her first big movie, and I'm all for giving people chances, but it's like giving a toddler the keys to a Ferrari and feels like asking a vegan to judge a barbecue competition. You see where I'm going with this? It's like Putin saying he'd rather see Biden than Trump in the White House. It's not what you expect, but hey, that's the world we live in. The story's all over the place. We got a betrayal in Peru and then a showdown in Manhattan, and it just feels like they spun a globe, closed their eyes, and picked a spot for each scene. They basically played pin the tail on the donkey with a map of the world and were throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded. The bad guy's name is Ezekiel Sims. Dude sounds like a Johnny Sins from a different dimension. He's about as scary as a teddy bear because I've seen scarier things in a cartoon. But hey, at least he's consistent. Consistently boring. He's about as intimidating as threats from John Morant with a gun, and about as menacing as Drake's recent leak. But let's not be too harsh, because it's not every day you get a movie that makes a high school drama play look like a Broadway masterpiece. So if you're up for a movie that's as confusing as a politician's promise, as thrilling as watching grass grow on a rainy day, and as satisfying as a cup of lukewarm water, then Madam Web is the movie for you. I think I would rather go to a Travis Scott concert to get a lecture on quantum physics than spend my soft-earned money at the cinema for this movie. And to top it all off, they released the movie on 14 February because nothing screams I love you quite like dragging your date to a movie that has all the excitement of a New York train ride to your 9-to-5 job. Imagine planning a romantic candlelit dinner only to serve up a platter of cold, overcooked Brussels sprouts. Picture the surprise when you gift your loved one a box of chocolates and they bite into a filling of toothpaste. Maybe in a world where Putin might send Biden a Valentine's Day card, this movie fits right in.